Today I'm going to show you the Sony LocationFree Player. I made a video about this a couple years back. Somebody asked me if I could make a new video because the old one was pretty bad. It was just awful. I think I'm going to delete it off my YouTube channel because it was so bad. So as an introduction, here's my Sony LocationFree Player. It's the LFV30 model. So it includes component inputs and regular AV inputs. And I guess I'll start off showing you guys what was in the box. Alright. Now, of course, I already opened up the box, so I'll do a post box opening. So first, when you open up the box, of course, you're going to see the Sony LocationFree Player. You're going to see a power supply. I'm not really going to bother because you know what that should look like. If you don't, well, you probably, I don't even want to go there. So you'll get an installation CD, so you can watch TV on your PC. You'll also get an Ethernet cord. I never used it because I just do wireless, which you can actually, it's very helpful, and it's just easy to set up. You can throw it anywhere in your house. And you'll also get a whole bunch of warranty information, completely useless. It's not going to break, I hope. So, back to the Sony LocationFree Player. Hopefully I don't touch my camera again so I won't have to retake the entire shot. So here it is, again. You'll get your power button and a setup button and a reset button below that. You probably can't see it because of the freaking lighting. And the back. So, on the back, you can't see that. Alright, so here's the back of the base station. It's pretty simple to set up. You have an input and an output. So first, input, output. That's simple. You have an S-Video, RCA, and component. And of course you have audio too. If you didn't notice, I really hope you did, because you're gonna have a problem setting this up if you didn't. So the input would come from your set-top box or VCR, DVD player, whatever you have. In this case, I have a set-top box from AT&T. And you just simply plug it in. I guess I could demonstrate it for you guys. Alright, so this is pretty simple. All you have to do is match up the wires with the colors. So I'm not going to do component because I just don't have any extra wires lying around, like I do set-top boxes. And like I said, all you have to do is match up the colors. White, yellow, and then, sorry, red. Alright, so simple enough. So that's half of it. Then you just take your set-top box or VCR and just plug it in. Now, I think you get the idea. Let me just focus this. So I think you guys get the idea. I don't really have to plug them all in for you. The yellow is the video, the red is audio, and so is the white. You can see here I also have component. I'm not using that. Make sure you don't use those colors if you're not using component. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so now I'm just going to show you guys the rest of the back of the base station of what is left to show you. Alright, so starting from the top, you'll see a switch. This allows you to switch the base station from two modes, which are client and AP mode or access point mode. Client mode basically allows your base station to connect to your network as a client wirelessly. So it's just a convenience. You can stick your base station anywhere in your house and it will connect to your network and stream the video wirelessly through the internet. And then you also can switch it to AP mode or access point mode. Yeah, no, I said that wrong. And that requires you to take an Ethernet cord and plug it into a switcher router to your network. so it's less convenient. You have to have your VCR or DVD player right next to your router, or however long you have an Ethernet cord for. Luckily, with AT&T, if I do want to use access point mode, I can just plug my base station right into the back of my set-top box, and that's just a convenience again from AT&T. Another plus with access point mode is that it'll actually cause the base station to act as an access point, or in other terms, you can connect to the base station and use it as a wireless access point, and just connect to the internet. And that's pretty cool. Then I'm gonna go down, and you'll see two IR blaster inputs. What this basically does is this gives you the ability to actually control the channels. So you'll plug it in, and you'll take the IR blaster and put it in front of your set-top box wherever the IR receiver is. I usually just throw it in front, and it usually is able to change the channels. You also have the option of two. However, the box only comes with one IR blaster. You'll have to buy one separately. They're about $30. And that's basically it for the back of the box. Now I'm going to show you guys how to install the software and use it. Alright, so I put in my disk. And now I'm going to click on it. Type in my password. Okay, I'm just going to click next. I don't really need to read that. And you do not need to read the license agreement. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not going to. Next, it's going to ask you for the serial key. You'll find the serial key on the back of your packaging disc, or the package that the disc was in. And you'll also want to just enter a username and an organization. The organization isn't really that important. I'm just going to leave it as default, and it knows my name apparently, so I'm just going to enter the CD key. Give me a minute to do so. Okay, so I've clicked next. Now it's going to ask you where you want to save the program. I'm going to leave it as default, and I'm just going to click install. Okay, it's finished. I'm going to click finish, and then I'm going to launch it. Now it's going to bring you to a wizard. Okay, so just click on this, the new base station, and it's going to bring you to this page, and it might have actually brought you to this page first. In my case, it didn't. I'm going to click start. It asks you to read the Quickstart guide. You don't have to as you're watching this video. And you have to press the check button because the software needs to check if it's going to be able to get through your firewall so it can stream the video through the internet. Click next. And it wants to be sure that you're right next to your base station so you can be ready for the next step. Now, click the setup mode button first on your base station, and then click the register button. It may ask you to do it twice, or you may have to do it twice, as it often fails on the first one. So let's give it a minute. As you can see, it failed on the first try. I'm going to try it again. Alright, one more time. Okay, it finally got it. Alright, so it's complete. I'm going to click next. And now it asks you to get your remote for the device that you're going to be plugging into your base station and streaming the video through. Okay, so I have my remote. I'm going to click next. Now, it may or may not work, but what you want to do is go to your remote and point it at the bottom left part of the front of the base station where there's an IR receiver. On your remote, press the power button. In my case, I wasn't able to find the software wasn't able to find my remote. So I'm just going to click OK, and I'll set it up later. Click Next. I'll skip this. And now the base station is going to check if it's going to be able to stream video through the internet. In my case, it's probably going to work because I opened up a port on my router to be able to stream the video through. I'll show you guys how to do that later. I'm going to click Next, and it's finished. Now, in my case, I wasn't able to set up my remote. That's going to happen with a lot of people. So if that happens with you, just click Settings and select the input in which you're going to be using that remote on. Under Secondary, click the Select button. Here you're going to be making your own custom remote. That, or you can choose the remote from a list. I have a Motorola. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry, 1 second. Anyways, I'm going to click on this, click Next. And I have a Motorola DVR. Now, this may work, but it also may or may not work. Click this button to view your remote on the screen. It's just a virtual remote. It's pretty simple. Now, in the case that that still doesn't work, you can make your own custom remote. Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that before. Anyways, so in the case that you still can't find the remote on that list, go to Settings and click on Additional Remote. Here you can either download a remote off the Sony website, which includes thousands more remotes, but it's hard to find the remote that you have. So instead, I'm just going to create my own. Here you can select the layout of the remote that you want. There are many different ones, generic with a 10 key, blah 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 blah. Okay, so I'm just going to select the generic combo. I'm going to click Next, and then here you can assign what each button does. Now this does take a while, but it's pretty cool. Some buttons you can rename, such as this. I can have, I don't know, play, or I can have, I don't know, stop. You can just rename it to whatever you want and have it correspond to the button on your actual remote. I'm going to rename this Test, I guess. Okay. Probably should have pressed Enter. But anyways, so you have to assign each button. So to be able to assign each button, click the button, and then on your actual physical remote, press the corresponding button. And press it facing directly towards the IR blaster on the front of the base station. So I'm going to press the play button. Okay, as you can see, a red square box has appeared around the play button. It has been correctly assigned. Here's an example. I'm going to try to make it so it will not work correctly. Alright, this is just a really good remote. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. But if it does not work correctly, an error box will come up and say that you have to do it again, and you just have to make sure that the remote is close enough to the base station and pointing directly at the IR receiver. When you're finished, you can just click Next and assign it to which input you have the video streaming into. Then finish it. Then you're done. That's pretty much it. You can start watching video. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to actually stream the video through the internet because you have to open up a port on your router. Okay, so I'm on my router's configuration page. Now you have to find out the IP address of the base station. I renamed my base station NetAV. So I'm going to click Device Details. Now this is if you have AT&T, as you can obviously see. The IP address for it is 192.168.1.74. So I'm going to copy it and paste it there. I already have it opened up. So I'm going to do a NetAV check first to see if I can actually stream the video. Okay, let's check it. Oh, sorry. Alright. Okay, so mine works. Most people's won't work though because you have to open up the port first. So let's assign the port. So let's go to settings. Here it says that your username is LFX and you have to sign in. So LFX and your password is printed on the side sticker of your base station as said. Okay, so let's see. Alright, I have it entered. Okay. Now it says my port number is 5026 as seen here. That's pretty much all you have to have. That's all you have to know. So I'm going to go into my configuration of my router and I'm going to go to the firewall. I already have mine set up, but I'll just show you guys how to do it anyways. I'll go to applications and blah blah blah. And then I'll select my device. So I'll choose NetAV. In your case, it may not be named NetAV. I just named it through my router. It may just be named as its IP address. I created a custom, I don't know, I customized it so that I could access the port. I know I said that poorly, but I'll redo it just for you guys. So I'll remove this. Let me enter my password. Okay, so I removed it. I'll add a new one for you guys so you guys can see how to do it. Alright, so edit a user-defined one. Now here you can still see that I have NetAV still, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it so I can show you guys exactly how to set it up. Alright, so I'm going to click edit after it was deleted, and I'm going to name this NetAV once again. It asks you for the protocol, and you're going to want to make sure it's selected as TCP. Then it asks you for the port. You can find the port once again right here. It's 5026. I'm going to copy it. And then just paste it into both. Or just type them in. Then it asks you for a protocol timeout. You probably want to define this, and I'll set it as the max possible. Or actually just as the default. Which is 86400. Now, the reason why you may want to define this is because sometimes this can stop the video from streaming and it can interrupt you in the middle of your show or whatever. So, after that's entered, I'm going to click Add to List. And then back. And also, just to show you guys that it isn't going to work without that port, I'll go back to the NetAV check. Now this is after I removed it. I haven't added that port back to that device, back to this device yet. So I'm going to go ahead and click check. Now it should not work technically. Yep, that's right. Alright, so it did not work. Now to make it work, click the device, NetAV, and then go in the list and find NetAV. Here it is. Okay, which is port 5026. I'm going to add it. Okay, successful. And then click save. That should be it. Now we can go ahead and test it again. Retry. Check. It should work this time. And there it goes. It's complete. It works. Now you can watch video anywhere in the world. Now you may be a little confused if you don't have AT&T, because you would probably have the same user interface if you did have AT&T. If you had Charter, just do some research. It's not that hard to figure out. You just have to find the IP address of your router and configure it. Now, if you want to connect your base station wirelessly to your wireless network and stream the video wirelessly, under wireless settings, click client. Click scan. It'll scan for your wireless network. Okay. Well, anyways, I have two wireless networks. One is 2-wire, the other is Linksys. I'm going to select 2-wire, and then it'll fill in that information for you, but you have to select the authentication type. It may do it for you, but you also have to put in your password. I already put in my password, and that's pretty much it. Then you're going to press the set button, and after you press set, the base station should restart. And on the back of your base station, switch the from AP mode to client mode. And then there you go. You can connect your base station to your wireless network wirelessly. Everything pretty much should be set up automatically, and that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe.